video that I said I was going to do a few days ago. You guys have sent your questions in, and today I am going to answer them for you. So we've got a few to get through here, so we're just going to dive straight into it. Thank you to everybody who sent your questions in. I really do appreciate it, and thank you for your continued support on this channel. It really does mean a lot. I know I've been away for a while. I say that a lot. We're going to address that later on in this video. I know I've been away for a while, but yeah, I really do appreciate the support that you guys give me. So without any further ado, let's crack on and get straight into it. So the first question comes from David Childs, and he asks, what have you made of this F1 season so far? Okay, so obviously we are now, 14 races in to the season. We're well over the halfway point. We've got 8 races to go. Max Verstappen is absolutely running away with it. He is going to be a 2-time world champion, barring the biggest bottle job, catastrophic failure of all time. Verstappen's going to be a 2-time world champion. It's a shame that we didn't get that Verstappen-Leclerc title battle I thought that we were going to get at the start of the season. If anything, Ferrari came out the traps looking like the big favourites, and obviously Red Bull having all those issues. I thought that there was one point where I thought that Ferrari might even run away with it, but yeah, they've gone off a cliff, haven't they? I don't know what's going on over there. But yeah, it ends up with Red Bull just running away with it. Obviously those technical directives that have come in since Belgium, obviously Ferrari have had to tweak something, and it's worked for Red Bull ever since. Verstappen's won 5 races in a row. Anyway, I'm kind of getting off on a tangent here. So what have I made of the season so far? I think it's been okay. I wouldn't say that it's been a classic. Obviously, it's the first season with the new regulations, so it's going to take a bit of the time for the teams to adapt and sort of figure out the order of the grid. And then as the seasons go on, it should get more competitive. But I think I've definitely noticed there seems to be one positive is that cars can battle closer for a lot longer. I think that is a lot more evident this season. I think last season you would have got cars in a DRS train and it would have been stuck behind other cars for ages, and they wouldn't be able to get close enough to make a move because of the way the aero regs worked is that the downforce severely limited being able to catch and pass the car in front. And I think obviously that's much lower this season. I think it's 10%. As opposed to 50% last year, so it's made overtaking and having closer battles a lot easier, and I think there is definite evidence of that working. We've seen some great battles in the midfield. We've seen for the first 3 or 4 races we had some brilliant battles between Verstappen and Leclerc. Think back to Saudi Arabia, think back to Bahrain, those two were going at it lap after lap. And it's a real shame that Ferrari haven't been able to keep that going throughout the season, because that would have been a really interesting battle. But yeah, I think there's definite potential. I think the overtaking, the regulations to improve overtaking have worked to an extent. Obviously, I think a lot of people will see that Verstappen's bolted ahead and he's got a 110-point lead and think, well, it hasn't worked because we've got one driver that's just way ahead of everyone else. But to be honest, I think that's just because Red Bull have done a really good job and Ferrari have dropped the ball. And Max Verstappen is just on an exceptional level right now. He is in the form of his life. No one else can touch him. He's in a complete league of his own. I think I said it was 14 races earlier. It was 16, and Verstappen's won 11 of them. And he should, in theory, there's 6 races left. Verstappen should break the record for most amount of wins in a single season. He only needs 3 more to do it, which at this stage is just insane. So adding into that as well, the Red Bull have got an exceptional driver on their hands who I have no doubt will go on to become one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest. So yeah, the Red Bull have got a driver and car that are just so in sync right now. Whether the balance will come back next season, whether Ferrari or even Mercedes will be able to close the gap next season, who knows? But I think it's been enjoyable. Like I said, I don't think it's the best season I've ever watched, but I certainly think that it's been an enjoyable season so far. And hopefully next year it'll be even closer and they'll be even better. Okay, so the next question comes from The Dawn, and they've asked, what are your thoughts on Sebastian Vettel's retirement? Now, this is an interesting one. Obviously, Sebastian Vettel, there was a lot of hype a couple of months back when Sebastian Vettel finally got Instagram and everyone was like, oh my god, Seb's on social media, and then he just came out and was like, yo, I'm retiring. But yeah, it was a surprise. It was a surprise. First of all, I'm sad to see him go. Obviously, there's no doubt that Sebastian Vettel is a Formula 1 legend, one of the best drivers to ever do it. 4 world titles, 53 race wins. Just, an incredible driver, an incredible ambassador for the sport. And I think he will be greatly missed. I think he has such an amazing influence, not only just on the sport, but on the younger drivers coming through. There's a lot of young drivers that look up to Sebastian Vettel. So thinking about, Mick Schumacher in particular, who Vettel's been sort of a mentor for. But he's a brilliant personality as well. He's very laid back. He's got a great sense of humour. He treats everybody with respect, and I think those traits will be greatly missed. And on top of that, he's still one fucking hell of a driver. Think about it. Last year, he got that Aston Martin onto the podium. He got it onto the podium twice, and then had that really unfortunate fuel flow issue in Hungary that meant he was disqualified. But he was still doing great things in that Aston Martin last year, even though the car really wasn't that great. So there was no doubt that he still had it. And I thought that possibly he would have carried on for another season, maybe even a bit longer. But obviously, he's got families, he's got a wife and 3 young kids, and he wants to see them grow up. And you can totally understand that as somebody who, myself, who family's very important to me, and I can totally understand that decision. You don't want to miss out on such an important part of he wouldn't want to miss out on such an important part of his children's lives. So I can totally understand that decision. And obviously he's got other irons in the fire. He's very passionate about the environment and the fight against climate change. So obviously being in Formula 1 is not very environmentally friendly. It kind of counteracts his point to an extent. So I can understand from that sense why he'd want to walk away as well and try and dedicate more time to fighting those causes. But yeah, I think I'm sad that Sebastian's retiring. I think he's had a great career. He's an incredible personality in the sport, and I think it'll be a much poorer place without him. So yeah, I think very sad to see Vettel go. But I hope that whatever he goes into, he does well at and he enjoys. The next question comes in from Joel Buckley, and he asks, what would be your dream job? Oh, okay. Time to go down that rabbit hole again. So time to dream. My dream job is it changes over time. When I was younger, or I wanted to be either an actor or a comedian. And as you can see, that worked out swimmingly. When I was younger, even up till about a couple of years ago, really, I wanted to be either an actor or a comedian. I wanted to. I even sort of considered going to America and trying to sort of break in and trying to get my foot in the door and take classes over there and do stuff and whatever. I don't know. And I think I'd quite like to be just anything in media, really. The idea of even being a radio presenter, I'd love to do that. That sounds really awesome. I listen to a lot of radio. I'm a big fan of Howard Stern. Have been for a long time. He's someone that I've sort of looked up to. If I had sort of something like that, I'd really enjoy. But obviously, that's a target that's very far away right now. But yeah, performing. You know, I used to do a lot of acting as a kid, and I've done comedy here and there. It's something that, it's just a question of like me sticking to things, because anyone that's watched this channel over the last 4 or 5 years know that I don't stick to things very well. And it's just finding that consistent passion that keeps driving you and keeps going. But yeah, I'd love to be either an actor or a radio presenter or something along those lines. It's probably never going to happen. I'd be very surprised if it ever did. But you gotta have dreams, haven't you? So yeah, something along those lines. And then the next questions, these might be the last questions for now, unless we get any in, and I'll add them in. This comes from Game Triggers ASMR, and the questions, it's two questions here. How come you never show your face in videos? And how come you don't upload regularly? Apologies if this offends. No, it doesn't offend me at all. Feel free, you can ask me anything you want. I won't get offended. They're perfectly fair questions, so let's address the first one first of all. How come you never show your face in videos? There's several reasons really. One, I really value my privacy. I don't want my face on the internet. Just because I work in a school and I don't want students finding me. That's the last thing I want to happen. And two, I just don't want. I just like having that sort of private barrier between myself, or my personal life as myself, and me as a creator. And I guess that showing my face on camera is where I draw that line. And two, I'm a really ugly bastard, and none of you want to see that. So really, I'm doing you a favour by not showing my face, because if I did, I guarantee that 90% of you probably wouldn't come back, as it would scare you so much. So yeah, that's the reason. And then secondly, how come you don't upload regularly? And that is a very, very fair question, and it's something that I've tried to work on for a long time. Just mainly, just trying to get some consistency going on this channel, and for whatever reason, I've just failed time and time again. I think it's just that part of like my ADHD riddled brain that just, I cannot focus on one particular thing for a long period of time. I'm a very sporadic person. I have a particular interest in something for a couple of weeks, and then I'll drop it and I'll go and do something else, and then I'll be interested in that thing for a couple of weeks, and then I'll drop it and do something else, and the cycle just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. And then every so often it will come back to ASMR, I'll release a few videos, and then I'll get bored and I'll lose motivation and I'll go and do something else. And for me, it's trying to find a strategy to really counteract that, and really try and work on it and get some focus and be able to sort of give you guys consistent videos, because obviously I appreciate that if you guys aren't going to see consistency from me, then you're not going to want to stick around, and that's totally fair enough. I totally understand that. So I know that by not uploading regularly, I'm losing out on an audience. People are going to drift away, and that's totally fair enough, and I understand that. And for me, it's about trying to find a way to engage myself in a way that I can upload regular content and be happy whilst doing it, and make sure that I'm not getting bored and that I'm not losing focus, or I'm not letting other things distract me. So yeah, that's basically what it is. It's just trying to figure out a way to maintain a consistent interest, and hopefully one day I can do that. But yeah, I do appreciate that you guys want regular content, and I haven't given it to you, and I do apologise for that. I know my content is very sporadic. It's something that I actively want to work on, and I know it's something that isn't good enough. So yeah, I do apologise for that, and I do want to really better myself on that front and make it work. So yeah, that's my honest answer anyway, and yeah, it's something that I will definitely try and work on. I think that brings us to the end of our Q&A, unless any questions have come in the next couple of hours. Thank you to all of you that have watched this video. If you did enjoy the video, please consider leaving a like on there for me. If you're new around here and you like what you see, why not get subscribed so that you can be notified of future videos and other streams that I do. I'm hoping to get some more F1 content out there in the next few weeks for you. Anything, I just got to work out what I want to do, and then we will get cracking. So thank you once again. Thank you for your continued support, all of you. It really does mean a lot to me. Hope you enjoy the weekend, and I will see you in the next video. It's been a bit of a messy outro. I don't quite know what was going on today. It feels kind of weird, but we get that sometimes. But yeah, thank you once again for all your questions. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. That's a really shit bye as well. Let's try and do it better. Bye. No, that was still terrible.